Welcome everybody. This is Marco Has a Plan. I'm Marco and this is the third part of my PFSense project. Now the PFSense I'm creating is based on PCEngines APU2C4. Yeah, it's a mouthful. So it's a small little device. If you want to know more about it, go back to the first part of this video where I talk about it, where we actually assemble it. And in the second video, in the second part, I tell you about my current setup. I have a virtualized PFSense box, but it is very confusing, the setup I have at the moment. So I told you what I want to change about this and how it is going to look like when I'm done. Now we are at part 3 and now we are ready to start this thing up for the first time, and I'm going to do this basically live. I want to use up as little takes for this. Ideally I want to do it all in one take, because I'm lazy at editing, even though I have Adobe Premiere, whatever. But we want to end this video by with the first login to our PFSense over the web interface. So I hope this is not going to be too long, but let's get started. So we are going to switch over here, and here we have the PCEngines website, and we go to APU2 and we see that the current model would be an APU2D4, which is basically identical to the APU2C4. They just did a little minor things. As you can see, update APU2D. Reduced leakage current between V3 and V3A power rails can cause problems with the SD cards. Add options for better compatibility with LTE modem modules. So this is the difference between the APU2D4 and the APU2C4. So nothing that really concerns me. But we want to go to the user manual because we want to know how can we actually connect to this. Because as you know, as I told you, this has no video output, no VGA, no HDMI, no nothing. The only way we can connect to it right now is a serial console. And what you need for a serial console are two things. You need a PC with a serial port and you need a null modem cable. Now, my PC is relatively current. It's Ryzen 2700X build. I guess it's an Asus X470F, so it does not have an external serial connection, but it has a serial connector on the motherboard. All you need is the small cable to get it to the outside, where you actually get the DB9 port. So I had one of them laying around here, so I just built it in there and connected it, and now the rest we need is a null modem cable. And for that I use, let's go back. Why have I changed this already? Okay, now this is what I use. So this is StarTech.com serial cable, and if you read this here, then you see that this is a 1 meter black DB9 RS232 serial null modem cable. So this is actually in a null modem configuration. Okay, so let's go back here and getting started. You can see this. Please install heat spreader, described, blah blah blah. We did this in the first video. We haven't done this yet. We have to connect the serial port to a PC through a null modem cable. We have the PC running, we have everything connected. All we have to do now is basically to connect it to the power. And I've set this up, but now set the terminal emulator to 115,200 8N1. And now we are going to the control panel. I am sorry, but I am working on a German computer. I would like to, I guess I have to create a new user for this videos with an English interface. But yeah, we go to the device manager and we are looking for the COM port where we connected the cable, the null modem cable. And I only have one COM port because this is actually the only serial port on this computer. If you would have an external card, a serial card, then you would have more. You would have to know where you connected it to. But we go to the properties and to the settings, and here we have it where you can set up everything. So we need 115,200, 8 data bits, no parity, 1 stop bit. Set it this way, it should work. Now we're going to close this up because this is actually something I did before. And now go to the terminal emulator of your choosing. For me, this is PuTTY right now, and we are going to set serial port. We go to the speed of 115200, and we go to open. Now, nothing is happening right now because the APU 2C4, it's really a mouthful. It's not connected to the power right now. So we just switch it on and hope for an output. And there we have it. There is the output. So PCEngines APU2, core build, blah, 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 4080 megabits. That was too fast. But if there is nothing else installed on this, it would go to mmtest86+. So now it would just test the memory. And you can see actually here, you can see your CPU temp. I did this 1 or 2 weeks ago, I guess 1 week ago, just to check this, and I let it run for almost 2 hours, and I never exceeded 45 degrees Celsius, I guess. I guess not much more than this. And that was actually okay for me. So we know that we can connect to this with the serial interface. We get an output. So now the next thing is to actually install PFSense on this. And we can just unplug this. We can close PuTTY for now. Yes, we want to close this session, and so on. So now we can go to our first start PDF right here, and we can go to setup options, whatever, BIOS options, connections, and somewhere over there, there are operating system compatibility. And we go down here and we go to PFSense software. And here you can actually see what you have to do to install PFSense. Now, they tell you that you have to prepare a USB stick with Tiny Core Linux. You have to copy the PFSense image onto that USB stick, and you would have to boot Tiny Core USB, and then you would have to basically copy the image over the SATA or the mSATA SSD. But this is what it says here. But I said to myself, why not just create the stick, the PFSense install stick, and then just run with it. And this is actually something that you can do too, because when you go back, there's a how-to collection right here, and in OS install, there's actually OpenSense, PFSense, and for the APU base, you can just download latest Serial memstick, AMD 64 installer, OpenSense or PFSense. Write image to USB stick using Etcher. We are going to use another tool. Boot from USB. Follow instructions of the installer. So we just jump over to PFSense. We go to the download. We use version 244p1. We select AMD 64 as architecture. We use the memstick installer, and here in console, and this is important, we use the serial console. We use a German mirror because we are in Germany. It should be the fastest. And we click on download. And we save it. And let's see how fast this is going. 6 megabytes per second. 7 megabytes per second. 8, 9, 10... 10, so 80 megabits, which is not bad. I have 100 megabit down, so the server is actually relatively fast. Okay, we are almost done. We are done now. I go to my folder. I right click on it because it's actually, it seems to be compressed. We go to unpack into a folder. This is here, and here we have our image file. Now I already have a USB drive connected to my PC, and I already have Win32 disk image running. I hope it works with it, but we just select our file right here, and we use F for that, read-only allocates, and we are going to write. Yes, I hope. So this is going to write the image right now, and when this is done, we can just remove the USB drive from the computer and connect it to the PFSense box, the APU2C4. It gets easier and easier to say it. The APU2C4. And then we're going to boot again. We see if it just boots from boots directly from the stick, and then I guess we'll see. So let's just wait until this is done. Okay, now first thing I want to say is I'm sorry. I had a light up there that gave me a little bit of light in here, but it's with a battery and it's LED, and somehow the battery died, and apparently it does not work when it's being charged. So hooray for cheap lights. Okay, so we can do it this way because you do have to see my face. Okay, so this is my mem stick, my Porsche 911 mem stick, and I'm going to connect this to the PFSense or to the APU2C4 right now, and I have already prepared another serial connection. So we go open, and we are going to start right here, and now it boots. We are going to press F1. We want to start from the USB drive. Okay, let's just move this a little more here. Can we make this a little longer? No, we can't. Okay, let's just let this be as it is, and let's just wait for it to boot the setup. The headlights on the Porsche are blinking. Nice little feature. Okay, now it asks us for the console type, and you can be very confused here, but it gives you the standard console, which is VT100. So we just type VT100, and there we are. So PFSense is a federally registered trademark, blah, 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 blah. No commercial distribution is allowed. I'm not doing this, so we click accept. Yes, we want to install. Okay. Key map, I guess we're going to continue with default. Is this okay? Yes. How would you like to partition your disk? I will go with auto, UFS or CFS. CFS, no. Normally I go with UFS. I guess the last time I went with UFS. CFS, I guess it's a little more resilient. But isn't FreeNAS CFS? And isn't it a bit of a memory hog? Don't you need memory in terms of RAM to really use CFS? I only have 4 gigs, so I'm going with UFS for now. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going with UFS. Yes, we're going to do the entire disk. Erase the disk. Yes. partition scheme. Standard is DOS. And I guess we are going with that. Yes, we commit everything as it is. So we're installing. Okay, installation is now finished. Before exiting the installer, would you like to open before exiting the installer, would you like to open a shell in the new system to make any final manual modifications? No, we don't. So we are going to reboot. We are going to remove the memstick. And now we're rebooting. The system should automatically boot from the mSATA SSD. And it does that. And let's see how fast this is. Welcome. Okay, so here we are in the main menu, and what we see at first is here there are only two network interfaces. But this is actually not true, because we can just, this is the automatic assignment as it was done. So we can go to option 1, assign interfaces. And here actually valid interfaces are IGB 0, 1, and 2. So do VLANs need to be set up first? I guess not. So no, we are going to use VLANs, but we're not setting it up right here. So enter the WAN interface name or A for auto detection. No, auto detection is not going to work because there's nothing connected to it. So we're going with IGB 0. Okay. Enter the LAN interface name or A for auto detection. A is not an option, so we go with IGB 1. Okay. And enter optional interface name or A for auto detection. Okay, we go with IGB 2. My phone thinks that it is important. No, you are not. I really have to disable that. Okay, so do you want to proceed? Yes. Okay. Running configuration, done. One moment while the settings are reloading, done. Now I just want a menu, please. Menu, 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 please. Menu, please. Menu, please. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, so here we have our three interfaces now. WAN, LAN, and UPT1. Okay, so we have IGB 0, IGB 1, and IGB 2. Now, I think that these three interfaces are actually in a row. So it's from left to right, it's IGB 0, 1, and 2, or it's from right to left, IGB 0, 1, and 2. Now, I have no idea where IGB 0 is. Could be on the left or on the right. I have no idea where IGB 2 is. It could be on the left or on the right. But IGB 1, in theory, should be in the middle. And now we can just reconfigure IGB 1 and give it an address out of the subnet I can use around here, which is basically, or the VLAN, which is basically, I use VLAN 12, which is the subnet I'm going to tell you right now. So we go to option 2, set interfaces IP address. We go with IGB 1. Enter the LAN IPv4 address. So we go to 10.110.12. Which one should be empty? Let's try 201. So the 10.110 is basically, so everybody, all the networks I have use the 10.110. But the number after that is the number of the VLAN. So I can easily see what VLAN one device is in. So we are in VLAN 12, which is the let's say trusted client VLAN, and this is basically the only VLAN I have configured around here that is easily to access, at least for now, for testing purposes. And the 201 is the number that's high enough, so it might not be in a DHCP range, I hope, and it might not be an address of any other device. So we just try it this way. We have a /24 subnet, so we use this for WAN. No, we do not need an upstream gateway right now. Enter the new LAN IP interface. I do not need this. Do you want to enable DHCP server? No, I already have an DHCP server. I do not need another one. HTTP is the web configuration protocol revert. We can try this. Yes, we do not need HTTPS right now. We can try it with HTTP, and we are restarting web configuration. IP address has been set up to blah blah blah. You can now access the web configurator by opening the following URL in your web browser. But we cannot do this right now because we have not connected our APU2C4 to anything. So we just go enter, and now we are going to do it right, and we're going to halt the system. Do you want to proceed? Yes. Goodbye, Melody. PFSense is shutting down. I have no idea if we are going to see anything else here. Oops. Was not, no, we actually see something in here. Uptime 6 minutes 36 seconds. And all the LEDs are actually off. So we are going to remove power. We're going to remove the serial cable. Actually screwed it on. No idea why. I guess I did not need this. Okay. Now I'm going to connect this thing to the network. Okay, so to clarify this a little bit, or to tell you what I did right now. Over there behind this wall is my living room. In my living room, where my TV is, I have, let's say, a little station. I have just a free network cable there, which is connected to a switch, which is connected to a switch, which is connected to basically my data center, my server room over there. And I have a AC power outlet. I use that station to make backups with my MacBook. And it's working good. But aside from that, I have connected the middle USB, the middle RJ45 network connection to that cable, and I've connected the PFSense box to the AC outlet. And I've just before I started to record, I have heard the welcome melody. So I just open a new tab and type in 10.110.12.201, enter, and there we are. So this is the IP we set, and as I said, I have no idea where IGP0 is, I have no idea where IGP2 is, but I know that IGP1 is in the middle, so this worked out quite well. So standard is always admin and PFSense. We are going to sign in. And we are greeted with no commercial distribution of the PFSense CE software is allowed. Copyright 2004 to 2018. Electric Sheep Fencing LLC. Okay, PFSense is accept. Okay, so as we can see here, name is pfsense.local domain. I have to change everything here. Admin is, we are logged in as admin. We have a PCEngines APU2. We have a Netgate device ID. BIOS is core boot version 407. Maybe I can find out how to make a BIOS update if it is necessary. We use version 244 release P1. AMD 64. Our CPU type is an AMD GX 412 TC SoC. It's 4 CPUs, 1 package, 4 cores. AES and iCPU crypto, yes, button active. So you have to activate it. Kernel PTI disabled. Uptime 5 minutes. Current date time May 24th, 2018. No, I don't believe so. DNS server itself. State table, we have an MBUF usage of 1%. We have CPU usage of 11%. Maybe there are some background tasks that it has to do right now, or maybe it's just taking a look at the interface here. Memory usage 6%, swap usage 0%, disk usage 3% of 27 gigabytes. And we have war run with 2% of 3.4 megabytes. Baby, it's megabytes. MI. The ISMI is always I. So it's gigabytes and megabytes. Okay. Let's just look at the interfaces. WAN, LAN, apt1, assignments, GB, interface groups. Nothing here. Wireless, of course, nothing. No VLANs. PPPEs, GREs, chips, no bridges, no lags, so nothing set up right now, but as you can see, we have installed a PFSense, a current PFSense on our APU2C4. The more often I say it, the easier it gets. So this is actually a functioning PFSense firewall. And this is actually what we wanted to achieve with this video. We wanted to log in to the PFSense box. Now for the future, of course, we have to configure it. We have to configure our interfaces. We have to connect it to, I guess, a trunk port of my 3750G Cisco switch stack. That's a mouthful too. We have to set up PPPoE because I do not want to use this with the TP-Link. So I'm going to, I guess we're going to switch this out on the fly. We're going to remove the TP-Link in a future video. We are going to configure the Draytech Vigor 130 in another video to use bridge mode. There is a firmware, I guess, for doing this. There's a firmware for German DSL providers. I have to take a look. I've taken it out of the box, the Draytech Vigor, but I have never actually connected it or connected to it or powered it up. So this is something I have to do. And yeah, a lot of things to do, and as I said, this is part 3, or this was part 3 of this series. There's going to be a part 4, there might be a part 5, even a part 6, we will see. But for now, thank you for watching. If you liked it, subscribe, leave a like here, write a comment, anything I did wrong, anything I could have done differently, anything you want to know, anything you want me to test, to try out. So just write it down there, and thank you for watching.